On this, the yeas are 47, the nays are 53. The motion to discharge is not approved.
What you just witnessed there was the result of Donald Trump ordering the United States Senate, the MAGA Republicans in the United States Senate, along with John Fetterman, Democratic senator from Pennsylvania, to vote against a war powers resolution which would block Donald Trump's unlawful war against Iran. So you saw right there, the Senate actually voted against this critical war powers resolution. And now it goes to the House of Representatives where a vote takes place today. I want to discuss how important this is still. But in the Senate, the vote was 47 to 53. You had Republican Rand Paul voting with the Democrats on the 47 side. John Fetterman voted with the Republicans on that 53, voting against the War Powers resolution, with the MAGA Republicans in the Senate and Fetterman giving up their role in Congress to block Donald Trump's unlawful war. Absolutely pathetic. So now it goes to the House of Representatives, but this is very important. Even though the Senate voted against it, it is critical that we see where all the Democrats stand. We see where all the Republicans stand when it comes to this unlawful war, because this is a deeply, deeply unpopular war. How unpopular is it? Well, just think about this fact right here. The Iraq War started with an approval rating of 70%. The lowest it ever hit was 42%. Just think about that staggering fact. This war right now started with an approval of 41%. Just think about that. And you have all the MAGA Republicans who are out there saying, whatever, the war started. So since it started, it would be unpatriotic for us to stop it now. They're literally using that line, like Susan Collins, who got that order from Donald Trump. And by the way, she's running for re-election in that Senate seat in Maine. Remember that, Maine. Here's what she said. She was very concerned about all of this. She said, passing this resolution, the War Powers resolution, to block Donald Trump's unlawful war, she says it would send the wrong message to Iran and to our troops. At this juncture, providing unequivocal support to our service members is critically important, as is ongoing consultation by the administration with Congress. Now, Graham Plattner, Democratic candidate for Senate in Maine, also a veteran, said the following: well, what else can we do but support the war? Are we really doing this already? This thing just effing started. This is the worst version of why we stayed in Iraq for so long, for the dumbest reasons, and being done by the same people who clearly have learned nothing. And as Donald Trump panics, this is what he's ordering MAGA Republicans to do: block the War Powers resolution vote. The War Powers resolution vote is critical, and frankly, we shouldn't even need a War Powers resolution, because only Congress has the power to declare war, not the executive branch. The executive branch needs to seek the authorization of Congress. It's in our damn Constitution. But now, of course, the MAGA Republicans got their message from the Trump regime, and it's just out of Putin's playbook. Don't call it a war. Just call it a special military operation. That's all you have to do. And that's what the MAGA Republican sycophants are doing. Like MAGA Republican Congressmember Mike Flood, before the vote that's taking place today on the War Powers resolution. Mike Flood says it's not a war. It's a significant military operation. Here, play this clip.
This war.
Well, I think the president has the authority.
Would you consider it a war?
It's a significant military operation.
What about what MAGA Mike Johnson is saying? Well, MAGA Mike Johnson got the order for Donald Trump to tell all of the MAGAs in Congress that you will get politically rewarded here by voting against the War Powers resolution. The American people want this war, MAGA Mike says, because that's what Donald Trump's telling everybody. Here, play this clip.
I trust the American people. I trust that they will evaluate all these things and they will understand that this administration did the right thing. I think they'll reward it politically, but if people get a bad taste in their mouth for what happened back here in the first part of the year in Iran, they just do. But we know, and history will record, we did the right thing. I think passage of a War Powers resolution right now would be a terrible dangerous idea for all the reasons I've just explained. It would empower our enemies, it would kneecap our own forces, and it would take the ability of the U.S. military and the commander-in-chief away from completing this critical mission to keep everybody safe.
Not only is MAGA Mike willing to vote against the War Powers Resolution and demand that MAGA Republicans in Congress be in lockstep with it, MAGA Mike is ready to start taking all of our taxpayer dollars immediately and giving it to supplemental assistance, for the war. Congress will pass a war funding supplemental when appropriate. At least, $50 billion is what we're hearing, to provide additional funding for this war. That money could have gone to healthcare. That money could have gone to affordable housing. That money could have gone to numerous other things that actually would help the American people. But now it's going to help us build more munitions for the war in Iran, which is an absolute disaster right now as more service members are being killed. That's what they're doing. I'll bring you to the House floor where there was debate about the War Powers Resolution. Let me show you what the Democrats are saying, because I echo a lot of their sentiments right here. Not because they're Democrats saying it, but because I don't believe in regime change wars without plans. I don't believe in sending our soldiers out there to Iran like that without any defined mission. I don't like it. I despise it. It's unconstitutional. It's unlawful. Well, here's what Democratic Congressmember Castro has to say. Play this clip.
Why now? Well, Secretary Rubio told us himself. He said that Israel was going to strike Iran, which would have triggered Iranian strikes on U.S. forces in the region. But rather than pick up the phone and tell Benjamin Netanyahu to stand down, the President of the United States buckled and decided to join their war. How is this America first? For 25 years, a generation of American service members and their families have sacrificed so much because of regime change wars in the Middle East. President Trump is now asking yet another generation of Americans to sacrifice in the hope that this time it will go differently than Iraq, Afghanistan, or Libya. This is Donald Trump's war. This is Benjamin Netanyahu's war. Your vote today will determine whether this is your war too. I urge you to support this resolution.
Powerful words indeed. What about Democratic Congressmember McGovern? Play this clip.
Mr. Speaker, nobody is defending the Ayatollah. There is no love lost for a brutal government that sponsors terror and murders their people. Iran has been doing this for decades. Everybody knows that. And so my question is this: why wasn't Donald Trump in favor of regime change until this weekend? Why did he campaign on swearing he would never send American kids to fight and die in the Middle East? Republicans can't answer because they were against war with Iran until exactly the second Donald Trump decided to go to war. And now they're all running around sounding like neocon lunatics. America can't take this level of gaslighting. I went to the classified briefing. There was no imminent threat. I guess unless Republicans want to redefine the word imminent to mean stretching back 47 years. This whole thing is just so transparently built on lies. Republicans went from imminent threat to regime change to nukes back to imminent threat in the last 24 hours. I'll tell you what this is, Mr. Speaker. This is Iraq 2.0. I still remember the lies about WMDs. I voted against that war too. At least George Bush had the decency to lie to people's face. And by the way, no congressional vote can legitimize this because there was no imminent threat. There was no UN Security Council resolution. So this war is illegal no matter what you want to call it.